Sometimes the odds just aren't in your favor. You ever hit all the red lights when you're late to work? Or maybe you parked under a tree when you finally got to work, for shade on a hot day. Then a bunch of birds decided to perch right above your car's windshield? Yeah, it's called just bad luck. Well, that kind of bad fortune befell a Treasure Valley man on the last day of August last year. Overnight, the water at Lucky Peak dropped so much, his boat just got stuck. And that boat sat on the banks of Lucky Peak for almost 9 months. And finally today, water levels were high enough to get that boat back on the water and back out of the water. It's good news, right? Well, when the owner arrived to get his boat, we found a number of things, a number of surprises, which added to his bad luck. Here's Joe Paris.
Deep in the distance at Lucky Peak Reservoir sits a lonely boat. Oh yes, there it is. The blue and white Bayliner boat has sat like this, stranded for nearly 9 months. Some of you have seen it, and the first question that comes to mind, how did it get stuck there? Owner Gene Saldana explains.
So last year we came out here and we were camping across the way, and so we didn't even see the sign about it lowering water until we heard about it. They said they were going to release 4 feet a day.
Last August, water levels at Lucky Peak dropped because of ongoing drought conditions. Weather got hot and agriculture operations needed the water. So water levels dropped to a spot usually seen later in the year, think October or November. Saldana thought the boat would be okay as they headed to bed on their camping trip.
Well, we woke up around noon, we came out, and my boat was not quite submerged. It was like we still had a little bit, so we were trying to work it out.
At the same time, several other boats were in metaphorical deep water as the actual water levels dropped. Owners rushed to get their boats out. Saldana's didn't get saved.
Man, I was feeling kind of hopeless, because, my boat was stranded, and I was trying to cry out for help for people to come help pull it out, and everybody was exhausted already from pulling boats out because of so much water getting let out because of the drought.
Bad luck for Saldana. The only option was to wait and wait and wait for water levels to get deep enough to float the boat out. Finally, today, the boat is free and back on solid ground in an intentional way as water levels slowly creep up again. Saldana was warned by a friend, though, who saw the boat before him.
There's some stuff missing, just be prepared. So I said, okay, so we pull up, and sure enough.
We aren't talking about damage done by the weather or water that flooded in. Oh no, this damage is human caused.
Somebody came and apparently they stripped all my seats. They took my stereo, my fish finder. They just kind of stripped all my boat. It was pretty sad, for the circumstances that I've already been in already, that for them to just come in and just have added up my stuff, it's pretty frustrating for sure.
Saldana's bad luck turned into bad choices made by others.
Yeah, for sure. I was worried about the weather, and then I'm like, okay, well, I show up and the weather's not really what did it, the people did. The people came in and just ransacked my boat and just pretty much got whatever they wanted.
Saldana says it stings even more thinking about the regular family outings that are now off the table. Replacing everything that was taken will take time.
We go out, we go barbecue, and I get all my family together. So this boat's been around for a long time, within our family.
Saldana expected the weather to have an impact on the boat. How could it not? But the human aspect genuinely surprised him.
To see this happen, it's kind of like, man, this is not what we do here, here in Boise. Everybody's friendly, everybody's nice, and so,
The hope, though, is that new family memories will soon be created on this boat in years to come. Gene Saldana says he plans on getting it back together, piece by piece.
Yes. Hopefully sometime during the summer I'm gonna itch away and and see if I find some seats on Craigslist or something. I don't know,
It's too bad that insult to injury there. I'm sure there's maybe an investigation, but is there any way to possibly find out who did this?
Yeah, he's looking for information. So if you have any idea who got into the boat and stole things away from it, you can actually connect with Gene Saldana. He's working on a campaign right now to fix up the boat and do what he can. He's got to make sure it'll even start, he told us earlier today. But we'll have a link on our website, ktvb.com, where you can connect with Gene Saldana. But Brian, Gene tells us earlier today he's very thankful for the Rangers out at Lucky Peak. They were very helpful in getting the boat back. But really disappointing, as you kind of alluded to, kicking a guy while he's down. It's terrible luck to have the water go down that way. We knew the water levels were coming down last year. It took some people by surprise just how dramatic and quickly it happened. So maybe a lesson learned there from Saldana, one he can share with other people.
And maybe the lesson is also kind of watch for some of those signs, especially this summer, because we could see some of the same conditions. All right, thanks, Joe.